Hey guys, welcome back to Shredcraft RC. I'm Cam, and today we're checking out the RC Speedy OAA ProMod build. So I built this for the WeRCRock National Championships. I really like the rule set, mainly because there's no winching and there's a lot of scale detail in this competition. So I built this to be a 1.9 ProMod, meaning it needs to have straight axles and it needs to run a 1.9 wheel. It has to have a front motor, no rear motor, a metal cage, and a 6-inch driver figure, cockpit, all of that, and a bunch of scale detail. The minimum weight also has to be at least 7 pounds, so that makes this a pretty unique and cool, in my mind, category to build to. So I've gotten a bunch of questions from a few of the video clips that I've posted of this awesome buggy rolling around. So I think the most asked about was the interior here, and this for the dash, basically what I did was made a paper template and cut a piece of titanium plate and then put a mock kind of dash panel on there out of a piece of Lexan, so it kind of looks like a screen. And then the steering wheel I extended. The driver figure is a Star Wars action figure. He's 6 inches. And then Mile High RC 3D printed me a seat here. So then people are asking about the battery, because normally on the OAA your battery would mount back here to a strap. But with competition in mind and performance, I wanted to see if I could get the battery lower and further forward. So I built this titanium hinged door to fit the battery compartment. And in here, I bent another piece of titanium to mount to the chassis dig mount and other seat mount. So then it puts the battery down low and forward. So the battery can go up to here as far being forward, and then it sits basically in this cavity. So then it covers it up, another piece of titanium there, along with every piece of hex hardware, all being titanium. So that's saving some weight. It has all Vanquish running gear, so there's just a regular VFD transmission, and that is running the lightweight motor plate and the lightweight Vanquish gears. I have a Hobbywing Fusion 2-in-1 powering it, keeps the wiring simple. I have the wiring pretty well tucked and hidden, actually running under the transmission and then into a loom that goes up into this axial Capra fuel cell that I painted. And then I had to make a bracket there to mount onto the RC Speedy bracket that was already there. Vanquish transmission, and then it has Vanquish F10 straight axles. And I really like these axles because the amount of angle that they have. I've run the Portal version on the Phoenix I had, and then these straight axles I've had on a couple different builds. Since this is a straight axle class, I thought this was a perfect opportunity to run those. And then those being aluminum, I Cerakoted them myself as a little test along with the entire chassis to kind of offer a little protection and give it that kind of cool bronze look. So let's see what else. That is the interior. I built like a center dash here with the levers there, but they're made out of foam to save weight but also remain somewhat scale. The other question I got a bunch of questions about were the shocks, and these are Traxxas 6260s, I believe. Basically what comes on a TRX4 high trail. So these are the 120 mil normally, and what I did is I put an internal spring under the piston to help hold this heavy chassis down, so it pulls itself from side to side and then has a little extra flex from what the ride height is. Basically the same concept of what everyone that's putting pricey custom shocks on here. So there's still compression and then there's still rebound, and since there's a shock or a spring under the piston here, it actually shortened this front shock up to around 100 mil, In the rear I have a different spring, external and internal, because with rock crawlers, if your rear spring's too light with a straight axle, what I learned in tuning is that it will pick up the front driver's side wheel and just put all that weight onto the rear. So what I did was, I think these springs are from a cheap Amazon shock kit, but they're short and stiff, so they hold a large amount of weight. And then the internal spring is also quite a bit heavier but shorter, so it has more down travel and more droop, but way stiffer than what the front's at. So I feel like that helps push the truck, something this heavy, up and over obstacles a little better. And it's been the best setup for me as far as like trying a setup, going and running the same lines over and over. This has performed the best for me. So as far as weight, the front wheels do have a brass ring in there, the rears don't. And then overall weight with a battery ready to run, this truck weighs 7.2 pounds. So I could still remove, I think it's 91 grams. I don't know where I'm gonna find it unless I find like some M2 titanium screws or something like that. Maybe aluminum screws for the body panels. Overall, I'm very happy with it, and it got approved for the entry. So the next video, what I'm gonna do is bring you along. There's gonna be a concourse event where all the buggies who are competing come in and go through tech and kind of show off their builds. And then the next day it'll be competition for this, and I believe 2.2 unlimited. So I'll be filming as much as I can, as well as competing and running gates for my first time. So I'm looking forward to it. Best rule out of this whole series is no winching, because I always thought it was silly to have to pull a winch off your toy truck and hook it to something and then use your controller to pull the winch in, when I just pick the truck up and move it if it gets stuck. So these are toys, they're expensive fun toys, but yeah, winching is kind of silly to me. So no winching in WeRCRock. And if you're in the Morrison area, definitely come check it out. It should be pretty cool seeing all these buggies crawling around on those moon rocks. So looking forward to it, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. See ya.